Okay, it's a little bit sunny, but I'm in the shade, and I thought I'd do a bit of painting outside today. So here I have some Sophias. So I was going to try and paint those, and I've got some purple ones and some red ones. Got the easel set up, and I'm going to start with a black pen. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the inside of the flower. So just bring that round. There's our inside piece. And then around the outside of that, you've got bits here that are just coming out. This is all going to be added in with paint in a little while. We're just getting those beautiful petal shapes in first. And we've got like a lovely flute one going up there. So there's the flute shape coming up, and then just coming down from that, we've got the beautiful leaves coming round. It's like a sketch with a felt tip, really. There we are. And it's got a little bit of something coming up there, just where the stalks come up. And then inside there, that's obviously the piece that's coming up here. We want to just bring those down, the veiny bits. There we are. So we've got those ones ready to see. You can see that okay, you can. Right, and then we're going to go over this side. So let's have a look. We've got the leaves there. We can add them in a moment. And where that part is, we're just going to come over here a bit for this other tube that's coming up. That's it. And we're just going to follow the pattern of that coming down. Wonderful. That's it. And then that one's sort of pointing up. Lovely. And then that's all going to be green here. And we've got a lot of the green bits coming up here. So what we'll do is we'll felt tip those, and then we can add the green in. We've got bits down the bottom here. That's it. That's just where all our green leaves are. That's it. We've got a little one there that's just about to form. It's drooping down. It's got a beautiful tube-like shape to it. And then of course we've got other ones coming up there. So we've got plenty of leaves going on, plenty of flowers. And then I'm just going to get some of the red. So just dab that onto the flat of my brush. I'm going to use the edge of the brush, and I'm just going to see I'm going over the lines a bit here. And the reason being is there's always going to be very delicate little petals with maybe feathery parts on them. I'm making that up because there aren't on these ones, but I'm going to put them in there just to get a little, show you a little effect that you can get if you go on the side of your brush. And you see how vibrant that is. Let's get some more red on there, and we'll just continue in. You don't have to paint all of it red, you can leave bits bare. I'm actually going to go in with this beautiful red. I'm using the side of my brush just so that I've got a little bit more accuracy, but I'm not being too fussy. I'm just painting where I want to paint. That's it. Let's just get a bit more paint on that brush because I want the whole thing to be very vibrant and lovely looking. Now, that hasn't got a lot of red on it, that one. This one up here has. This has got a beautiful red going on. Just mind your palm of your hand down on that bottom one. You can actually start from the top and work your way down. It might be a better way of doing it, but if you can avoid it, that's fine. Or you can tip the paper up so that if you're worried you're going to smudge where you've been, you can always tip the paper up on its end. There we are, there's some Sophinas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more brushes. I'm going to get a finer brush. Now we're doing the leaves, so what I want to do is going to get a very, very small, just fine one. That's quite a very, up against the other one. It's not as wide. So you can now get some of your green just on the end there. And again, I'm going to side on very, very thinly so that there's a hint of it still with the pen, but you've got that colour going in. And it's just done in a very rough way. There we are. So you can get those lovely green shoots coming up. That's it. There we are. There you are. And you've got like a vibrant picture going on there. All right. Nice and vibrant, isn't it?
Looks good, mate.
And then we can start on, get the pen again. And we can get some more of the purple ones now. So we could bring them maybe down here. So again, I'm just following the pattern that's in front of me of the flower. Going round. This time I'm doing the outline rather than the middle. That's it, and up it comes. Now you can go in for the middle if you want to. There's the middle. And that's going to be slightly darker in there. And we're just going to get that nice little fluted part of the flower that comes down onto the leaf there. There's the stalk. Again, there's some leaves. They're not in anything, I'm just leaving them free on their own. And then we can get a bit of blue and red and make up our purple there. So let's just get some of those lovely crispy bits going on there. That's it. Over here. Just giving it a go, not worrying too much about the outcome, but just giving it a go all the same. So let's now get a little bit of blue on the brush we already had with the red on. Just going to add a bit of water to that, just add a bit more. I want more red really. Just going to add a bit more red to the blue, because the blue will really take over. Okay, so I'm just, let me show you what I'm doing. So I'm literally just mixing a bit of blue in with this red here. Take a bit of that, a little bit at a time. I'll take a bit of that as well. Should we take a bit of the, let's take a bit of the green in. There we are. There we go. Now if you look at that colour, it's starting to go a little bit muddy. Oh, let's have a look on here. That's very dark, so we need a bit more blue in there. And maybe a little bit of white. So let's get a bit of white going on. I'm literally making this up as I go along, just looking at what colour I've got. Right, there's our white. Now, what I'm actually going to do now, let's get another brush, clean brush, same sort of size, don't want to go too big because of the area you're going to be painting. That will do us nicely. That's it. And I'm going to put, have a look there, that white in. Now, you see what's happening? It's going lighter, but it's also going more purpley. So let's add that in. You can see that's more purpley. And if you want to put a bit more blue in with that, you can. A bit more white. Now you see what's happening now. So you put a bit more blue and a bit more white in, a bit more blue. You can see the colour is lightening. Now, sometimes people will mix on the canvas, so look at that white. See what's happening here? I'm lightening it on the actual canvas that I'm using, not canvas, paper. But you know where I'm coming from. So it makes it a lighter purple, like so. That's actually, just check that one out a bit. And then in the middle of these, let's just get that in. There we are. And whether you use the side or the flat of the brush is entirely up to you. You see, a bit more white, and that's just making that go a little bit more diluted and lighter. Now, if you add water to that, it's going to run. It'll dilute the colour, but it will run. So you can do that. But because of the positioning of this, I don't really want it running down the page. So now, if we want a bit more of that dark, just clean that brush out a bit. That's it. Now, let's get a bit more of the dark purple, which can go in the middle of the flower. And that seems to... There we are. So we've got some dark still there, we've got some light still there. So just show you, make sure the sun's in my eyes. So we've got light purple, darker purple. So it's a darker purple that I'm deciding to put in the middle and on the underside of some of these flowers, just to give them a bit more detail. Let's just get a bit more of that dark there. What you can do then is show where the defined petals are coming. That gives it a bit more structure, doesn't it? And on the end there we are. Just gives it a bit more structure in the flower, really. There we are. Right, so now I'm going to go back to that brush that's got the green on it. Got a little bit of the green there. I've got a little bit of the red there as well, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to get some more of that green on. Just open some more of that actually. And for the amount we want, we can just get that from the lid. That's it. So we can just cover the areas we need to. That's it. Lovely. So there is a little Saffinia picture. Now, if you wanted to, from here, you could add other flowers to that. This is just a demonstration really, but you could by all means add more flowers. You could bring some grasses up. So for instance, you could get some grasses in there just to give it, that's it, just making sure I'm not in the way of the camera as I'm doing this. There we are. Some grasses coming up, and then you can put whatever colours you want in with those. There we are. Now we can really water that down. So you see what I've done. I'm using that green, but I've really watered it down. And look, because I've used that marker pen, it is giving it an effect of watering it a bit. Now, I'm going to get my other brush. This one's a bit more sturdy. Now you can just make what you will from that. Let's get some more green on there. We have some green and some white just to wash it down a bit. Make it a bit, oh, it's gone a bit bluey, but that's okay. Just give it a little wash. And because grass is growing up, we're going to go up with that technique. And you can pretty much fill the area with different things. So there's a few flowers up here, which I'm going to call my lobelia. And all I'm doing is just dabbing. You see how they resemble flowers. And quite beautifully, they've got different colours in there. So I've got a bit of the purple, got the blue, the red, and the green in there, and you can just pretty much dot them in. They look quite floral, don't they? Do some down here. What you could do, you could get some of the white and green and make some different colours of them. And there's just an indication there that there's some flowers going on, and I'm doing 3 petals per flower. But there. Now, compositionally, I haven't thought about this, so I'm just doing it as demonstrations, but you could really work out a good composition here of all the things. So you could have all these little flowers down the bottom, the grass is coming up, and then the Zinnias in the middle. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to say thank you for watching, and I am going to say click on my bio for my website so you can see everything that I'm doing at the moment. Click yes or comment yes below if you want to be part of my newsletter, and that way you'll see things happen first on there before they go onto social media. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Cheerio.